Okay, welcome to another review of a couple of my models, and this time it's two Hornby BR Black Terriers. The first one is number 32662, and I've just paired it with just a couple of wagons because it does say in the notes when you get the inside the box and you buy the model that it's got the motor inside it. It's only really designed for light sort of shunting works and not to run at continuously high speed. So you do have to be a little bit careful at the speed you run this loco, and probably run them in sort of short intervals. But even so, it's a good look. Goes straight away. I know it's only got two wagons on it, but it's still a decent little runner for just a small terrier. And I'll just bring that back again. Reasonably happy with this loco. You can't really complain in terms of the detail what Hornby have produced here. If I just bring the other terrier in now, and now this is where I'm going to have a bit of a whinge and a moan at Hornby for this, because this is 32670, and for me Hornby have cocked up the details pretty bad. I'll just put it about there, will do. Because they've got the bunker, the lining around the bunker, and the lining around the splasher completely wrong. And if I show you what I mean, I've got a photo here I took on the Kenton Sussex last year when they had all three terriers here. And if you notice, zoom in a little bit more so you can see 32670 on the left. 32670 only ever had a high-sided bunker, and that's because from when it was very first built it went into Kenton Sussex Railway ownership, and as a result of that they always had a high bunker on it, and subsequently through Southern Railway ownership, BR ownership, and obviously into preservation, it only ever had the high-sided bunker. And subsequently that meant the lining around the bunker would be different. Also, if you notice, there's no toolbox on the rear of the bunker, and the lining around the front splasher is completely different. This is how it should look, the model. If I go back to the model, you will see that it's got a low-sided bunker, toolbox on the back, and the lining around the front splasher wheel is like that. Completely and utterly wrong. I guess it depends on how pernickety, and I guess it, you know, the old phrase is rivet counting, that you want to be with your details. But for me, I'm pretty annoyed about this, because if Hornby had done any research on the loco, they would know that in particular 32670, it was one of the few terriers that actually started off life and obviously into preservation all the time with a high-sided bunker, and they brought this out with a low-sided bunker. And as I say, on top of all that, you've got a toolbox on the back, which it never had. The lining's wrong, and they've even got, as I say, the lining around the front wheel splasher wrong. I guess the reason for this is that Hornby, to save money, have just done one tooling of the terrier, which I get, you know, I can understand why they've done that to save money. But the problem with the terrier class in particular, that very few two were actually alike. If I go back to the picture, you'll notice you've got 32670 on the left, 32662 in the middle, and 32678 on the right. All three have got different style bunkers, and a lot of the terriers didn't just have obviously the Stroudley chimney, they had the Drummond style chimney, and they also had different cabs at times. And that's the problem that you've got if you're only going to do one tooling of a terrier. You're going to get a lot of things wrong, because as I say, the terriers, very few of them were actually alike to each other. There was vastly different, slightly, you know, things different with each terrier, whether it's the lining around the loco, the bunkers, the chimney, etc. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this model, because I don't want to sell it. I quite like it. Hornby have done quite a nice job on it, but they've just got, for this model 32670, they've got so much of the detail wrong with it. What I may do is I might use this as a project loco and have a go at renumbering it to a loco that was actually correct, to match up with the toolbox on the back, the low bunker, and the lining around the front wheel splasher. So I may do that. I don't want to get rid of it, because I do genuinely actually quite like the model. As I say, 32662 is lovely. You know, I like that, but it, as I say, it's the lining and the bunker that, for me, they've got completely wrong. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description box below of a photo. I took a 32670. It's a rear 3/4 shot of it on the Kenton East Sussex, and it clearly shows the differences in the bunker compared to the model. So I'll be interested to hear any sort of views from any other model collectors, what they think of this model, because as I say, it depends how I guess rivet counting you want to be with your details. Are you really bothered about these sort of things, or, you know, just does it really matter? For me it does, and I'm mightily disappointed that, for me, Hornby have cut this model up really in terms of detail, especially the bunker. That's really has annoyed me, but that's the problem, I guess, if you just have one tooling to produce, obviously, you know, various Terriers of the class. But as I say, the problem was with that is a lot of the Terriers were different to each other. So, but anyway, that's my review on the two Terriers. Any feedback, comments, please post below, because I say I'll be interested to know how much you guys sort of think of this Terrier. Does it matter that they've got all these things wrong with it, or, you know, or does it bother you and will subsequently you not buy it? But yeah, please post comments below. Okay, thank you.